If you're new to detailing, you're probably extremely anxious and nervous about ruining somebody else's car, especially a black, newer car. And you got a dual action long throw polisher, and you're getting ready to do polishing work or paint correction, and you're just starting out learning. The last thing you want is problems. So if you watch this video, I can promise you that you're gonna learn one of the biggest things that's gonna save you from huge, frustrating mistakes on vehicle paint. The reason I want to make this video is because you're not going to find this on most how-to polishing videos. They're not going to talk about this. When I was starting out, they didn't talk about it, and I had to learn the hard way over years of trial and error, touching hundreds of cars. Most of the time, you actually get great results. You will not notice any problems that you have with the vehicles. It's those one or two or few vehicles that you touch that just surprise you, because what you'll learn over time is that they're not all the same. Sometimes the paint is either soft or hard, which means they're going to be easier to work with or harder to work with, but in their own ways. And when you're in different climates, like Florida versus the Pacific Northwest, one's more mild, has less humidity, and the other, like here, we have extreme heat and extreme humidity. And clear coat works differently in those climates. When you use a machine like this on your paint, it's getting extremely hot. And that heat causes the clear coat on the surface to expand and contract. And so what I didn't realize when I was starting out was when it expands on the paint and you're done polishing, if you don't remove your polishing residue quicker and all the way, and you leave it there and you move on to the next spot, weirdly enough, the polishing residue that you left on here, what might look like a buffing trail, is actually going to be permanently on here, and you won't even be able to remove it from the surface. And I can't tell you how many times I battled with this, and I sat there stumped for hours trying to figure out what was going on. And so when you're working on these vehicles in the heat and your paint's super hot, you have to be more thorough about making sure you remove all the polishing residue from the surface. You don't want to do this section and then move on here and then decide you want to come through and buff off with your towel. You're going to want to do smaller sections, like a 2x2 section, and just buff it off really quick before you move on and make sure you get it all off there. Or you might be left with what looks like buffing trails on your paint that won't just buff off. Then you're going to wonder, how do I fix that? Well, you just simply are going to have to come back through and polish over every spot that you see. And that can become very frustrating when you're trying to be quick and efficient. So if you want to learn how to polish a car the right way, I got a video over here. Just click this, you can watch it. It's a great video, very beginner friendly. And hopefully you'll learn something new today. Have a great day. My name is Alan with Highlands Auto Detailing.